Hey guys, good morning. We are heading to a trip, ODR trip. We're gonna go hiking, and that's what's car. We're gonna go hiking at Baba Park or Baba Rock, something of that sort. And yeah, I'm gonna bring you guys along with me. So let's get this day of travel started, shall we?
When I go with confidence, when I go to roll our hips and take back sip on it, take a trip on it. When I girl who can go slow, wind it up all night. Baby, take your time, let me know I want. When you turn me around, when the neighbors yell turn down, we keep it going like bum bum bum. Throw it back then rotation, figure it's in the season, shine bright as that season. Girl, you know you are a jam 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 jam, jam 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 jam, jam 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 jam. Sounding like you're wasting every time. Jam 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 jam, jam 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 jam, jam 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 jam. Sounding like you're wasting every time. We know that beat, we know shine bright like royalty. We know stay keep a dignity and wine. So kind of your neck is stolen. You been waiting on me to solve it for me. And last weekend, you had me thinking, almost kicked in and lift my head up like bum bum bum. Throw it back then rotation, figure it's in the season, shine bright as that season. Girl, you know you are a jam 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 jam, jam 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 jam, jam 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 jam. Sounding like you're wasting every time. Jam 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 jam, jam 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 jam, jam 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 jam. Sounding like you're wasting every time. Can't you, can you make me feel like we could do? Oh, you make me feel like we could do it all over again, all over again. Can't you, can you make me feel like we could do? Oh, you make me feel like we could do it all over again, all over again. Jam, 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 jam. Sounding like you're wasting every time. Jam, 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 jam. Sounding like you're wasting every time. Sounding like you're wasting every time. Bum, 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 bum. Show me the car when you turn me on, the way you telling me you want me down. Done it, I done this before you fall. I won't catch you, don't know I'm stalling, cause you love to have.
How was your hike?
It was pretty good until you scared me.
How did I scare you?
I started crying and freaking out.
I was crying. Okay,
freaking
why you
out.
have to be like that?
No,
Kylie,
but we have fun.
how was your hike, Kylie?
Scary.
Can you look up? What was scary about it?
Really
Everything?
everything.
Calling me sweet, telling me you need me, but I'm from a city that's high school. I give them this and the more I go. Cause you a bad money, she don't love money. She break grass real fast like on money. Wanna swim down to the deep end, wanna know all my secrets, honestly. Can you keep it real? Cause honestly, I can tell that you're real fond of me. Baby, don't be shy, I can see it in your eyes. I've been running around, too bad, I've been sticking on your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I know you stand it, how you taking all my time. Left, right, can you take it all night? Too bad, I've been sticking on your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I know you stand it, how you taking all my time.
So we're going to the beach. Hopefully there's some sea glass that we can collect, which I'll be happy if we come back with a whole bunch of those. The terrain on this one is like rocky, but not as bad as the last one. And we're going down and not up. So that's helpful. Later on, I'm gonna tell you guys what happened with the last one, because it was an experience, I will say that. But let me get off of here. I'll see you guys.
Take it, baby, I ain't scared to take it. Oh, and maybe when I take it, oh, I feel it coming down too strong. Cause I want ya, and it's hard to resist, cause I need ya. And it's hard, baby, yeah, cause I believe ya. Hold me tight, holding on tonight. Holding a couple, get to you clean and proper. Way I move, I know we can love her. You gon' have me on your mind forever, ever. Thanks, baby, turn it down like a sweet and ready. Go slow, keep it nice and steady. Know that you've been keeping patience. Too bad I've been sticking out your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I know you stand it, how you taking all my time. Left, right, can you took it all night. Too bad I've been sticking out your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I know you stand it, how you taking all my time. Left, right, can you take it all night. Show me the color where you turn me on. The way you telling me you want me down.
Show me how you jiggle.
Pick it up, boy, you tryna find the pieces when you lick it up. Why I like it when you sit it when you take it up. Yeah, you know that I'm bad. Too bad I've been sticking out your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I know you stand it, how you taking all my time. Left, right, can you take it all night. Too bad I've been sticking out your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I know you stand it, how you taking all my time.
All right, guys, I think I'm gonna try to get over as well without breaking my neck while holding you guys. All right. So my hand is here. It's ashy as hell. Baby, I'm not gonna make it. Oh, I feel it.
Be careful with the camera. There you go. There you go.
I made it. Woo! Woo!
Left, right, can you take it all night. I'm telling you that there ain't no other way. Pack your bags and then you will go away. I'm not gonna be begging you to stay. Said maybe if you asked me yesterday, I would handle this differently. Things are different, I'm a new me. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. So even if you're asking, even if you're asking, 'cause I do what I do, and it's time for something new, yeah. Gotta know when to let go. Gotta know when to let go. Gotta know when to let go. Sometimes giving up can make you grow. Can make you grow. Can make you grow. Stuck in a spot, telling you it ain't what I thought. Don't wanna be stuck in a spot, 'cause I don't really like what I got, so I changed it bit by bit. It's not ungrateful, just being helpful for me and you. 'Cause we gotta go our own way, gotta go our own way, yeah. This was not a good stay, gotta go our own way. 'Cause I do what I do, and it's time for something new, yeah. Gotta know when to let confidence. When I got to roll our hips and take a sip on it. Take a trip on it. When I got who can go slow. Wind it up all night. Baby, take your time. Let me know I want. When you turn me around, wagwan. When the neighbors yell turn down, we keep it going. Like bum bum bum. Throw it back then rotation. Cigarettes and the season. Shine bright as that season. Girl, you know you are a jam, 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 jam. Jam, 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 jam. Jam, 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 jam. Sounding like you're wasting every time. Jam, 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 jam. Jam, 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 jam. Jam, 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 jam. Sounding like you're wasting every time. We know that beat. We know shine bright like royalty. We know still keep a dignity.
Hey guys, good morning. That's right, I said morning. I was actually supposed to record this part of the video, which is just my initial thoughts about the trip, and kind of like a breakdown of the logistics, how much we paid and all that good stuff. But I fell asleep last night because I was tired. So yeah, we got home last night around 8:30, or got back to base around 8:30, and then we had to drive from the ODR place to home. And then when we got home, everybody took a shower and went to bed. So yeah, that's how exhausted we were. But I figured I'd come on here today, and while memories are still kind of fresh in my mind, plus I wrote some stuff down because I don't play, kind of give you an overview of the ODR trip that we took. This is our second ODR trip, by the way. We had our first ODR trip last Saturday, and I had some thoughts about that. I didn't record that video, but based on that trip, I felt like I'm not doing no more ODR trips because I felt like it was rushed and like we didn't really have time to eat. It was kind of a mess. It was beautiful, but it really felt rushed. But from that trip to this trip, it's kind of like day and night, because this trip was so much fun, and I definitely did not feel rushed. I felt like we was able to take our time, especially too because we was doing like a lot of walking, a lot of hiking, a lot of up and down like steps and mountains and like slopes and all this other stuff. So we were really able to take our time, and I really appreciated that. And we went to a bunch of places, as you guys saw. But before I get into that, I want to show you this, which is my receipt. So this trip cost $90 for myself. Hey, baby. Yeah. So the trip cost $90. Huh? Hi. I'm recording my thoughts about the trip from last night. I was supposed to do it last night, but I was tired. But I'll wait for you to be done because I don't want you loud.
Oh, you don't want me to do this now?
No. Thank you. I need some coffee, child.
Why you say so?
Yeah, but I got on my mic so I can pick up I think it picks up a lot of sound. All right. Yeah, so I have my receipt here. So I'm gonna. I'll wait. Love me too. All right. So right here with me, I have my receipt. So I'm going to go through what all it tells you to bring when you go to ODR to get a ticket for one of the trips. So the first thing I want to mention is that this trip is listed on the website and on your sales receipt as family hike to Baba Rock. I was going to say park, but Baba Rock is listed as a family hike to Baba Rock. Now, the reason I'm mentioning that is because a lot of people, myself included, would go to the ODR website and be like, oh, I like this trip to Rosendo Caves. That was me. and my family, and we was like, okay, we'll go there. And so we went in our car, went there, and it was a beautiful experience and all that good stuff. But what happens is, like, we miss everything else, right? So although this trip was listed as a Baba Rock trip, we actually went to a bunch of other places, as you guys saw in the video. So if you've ever done what I've done, where you look on the website and say, okay, well, they're going here, that looks cool, which is a good experience. Like I've said, you could is a possibility you can miss going to other places and experiencing other things by not going on one of the tours. So I would suggest go on 2 tours. That's what I would suggest. And the reason I say 2 is because, like I said, like, we went on one last Saturday and it's day and night. My experience was day and night. And last Saturday, I was like, I'm not going on no more ODR trips. The reason why we went to this trip yesterday was because I bought both the trips in the same day. So I already bought the trip, so I had to go. But yeah, I was like, that's it. We ain't going no more. But yeah, this experience was a really nice one. So I appreciated the experience because it made me think differently about these trips. So I would suggest going on 2. All right, now I'm gonna read off what the receipt says. And I'm not gonna read off everything, but we departed at 7 o'clock, and I told you we got back at like 8:30. We was a little late yesterday because we was behind time because, like I said, nothing was rushed. Everybody had different levels of like how active they have been. Like some people were falling behind at other places. I was falling behind at Baba Rock. And on top of that, it's so much to see. So we spent a decent amount of time at every place, it was nice. But anyway, so this tour included round trip transportation, a tour guide. It did not include meals, beverages, or any like hiking gear or any of those things. It actually suggests that you bring hiking shoes, gloves, sandals, sunscreen, and about 2,000 to 3,000 yen. This information is the only information I got from the trip. Supposedly, there's supposed to be an email sent out about a few days before the trip, maybe up to a week before the trip, where there's a full itinerary of like what to expect, what to do, what to bring. I never got that email, along with a bunch of other people who never got that email. The one lady that was on a bus with us, she knew what was going on. She got the email. So she told me that when I register for another trip, just let them know this trip, we never got an email to tell us what to bring. So to ask them to update my email, make sure that they had the right one, so that way we could know what's going on. Because we went to go eat, which is at Hotokegaura. There's an onsen there, so you had the option to get in the onsen. But we wasn't able to get in the onsen because we didn't bring anything for that, because we didn't know that was something we could do, which would have been absolutely wonderful because my body was aching. Hell, everybody's body was aching. We was tired. It was cold outside. So it would have been a nice option. So definitely make sure that whatever email address you give them is the correct one. And then a few days, like I would say a week before your trip, if you haven't gotten an itinerary, just go there and say, hey, I haven't gotten an itinerary for the trip. I don't know when they send out the itinerary. I would think it could be up to a week before the itinerary, but maybe it's like 2 days before. So if you do go there in a week's time, like before your trip, and they say, oh, well, we don't send it out until this time, at least you'll know, because I don't know. I'm not sure when it's supposed to be. But yeah, that's a tip for you, sir or ma'am. So that's really like the logistics and stuff as far as like the trips go, at least all I could think of right now. The first thing I noticed when I got out of my car was that the bus was so small. Last week, our bus was like a big bus. It was like a tour bus with like the seats recline in both buses, which was it was cool, but in the big bus is better because you have more space to recline back. I'm 5'9.5", and my knee was hitting the seat in front of me in the small bus. There was also only 8 seats in a small bus. It was hella cramped. Thank God it was just like my family and one other person, so we was able to like spread out and lay out and do as we please. But it was really uncomfortable, not gonna lie. And at first I was like, why didn't they just put us all in the same bus we was in last time? But the reason for that is because when we was driving to a lot of these places, we're driving through the mountainside. So the big bus would have been way too big to like get us through safely. And that's why we was in 2 small buses instead of 1 big bus, which I was like, I realized that as we was like driving through the mountainsides, and I was like, oh yeah, like the big bus wouldn't have made it through here. So that's why it was 2 small buses instead of 1 big bus. The first place we went to, which was Baba Rock, was nice. For me, it was the hardest place, and I think I had a good attitude, though. I did cry there because, okay, let me start from the beginning. So we got there, the first thing you see is that bear sign, and I'm like, oh my goodness, why? One of the tour guides said that he has a bear horn, so if you see a bear, let him know. But then as we started walking, I was like all the way in the back. It was me, Lou, and he was ahead of me at first, but then he slowed down to be next to me, and then the other tour guide was behind me to make sure, no man was left behind. But I was really slow. I was out of breath. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to record for you guys. I'm trying not to trip over something. I'm trying to look for the bears because I hear noises. I'm like, anytime I hear a branch break or rustling, I'm thinking it's a bear. So I was really scared. And then if you guys saw the part where they AT, which is one of the guides, so I'm gonna call him AT San because that's what you call him. He puts San after the last name as a sign of respect. So he climbed up this little mountainside, like this rock hill or whatever, like this little rift. I don't know what to call it. He tied some rope off and threw it down or whatever, and then we had to like pull and climb up. And it wasn't that. It just was. It was kind of like it wasn't steep. What to call it? I guess it was kind of steep, which is why we wasn't climbing up the side of a rock or anything like that because I was not gonna do that. But once we got up there, and there was like the rock formation where you could climb up onto the rocks. You stand up there, you see the beautiful sight and everything, and it's supposed to be a good experience. For me, it was not a good experience up until like I got to the rocks. I actually saw the rocks and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I was frightened, but I was like, okay, I can do this. And I started climbing up the rock, and I didn't get far, and I was like, oh shit, I can't do this. And I kind of like kneeled down to sit where I was at, but I was like, okay, I can't. My legs are starting to hurt, and if I actually lean back to sit on my butt, I'm gonna fall and die. And Kylie was there, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so scared for her. Like, I started getting a headache. I don't know if it was because of like the elevation or whatever, but I was starting to panic inside, and I didn't want to overreact because that's the one thing you shouldn't do is overreact when you get scared. And I knew that, and I didn't want Kylie to see me act like, oh my God. So I was just like, I need to get down. So I went down, and I never actually went all the way up the rock. Lou did, and I included some clips and stuff of that already. So if you saw those clips, he made it up there. Kylie made it halfway, and she kind of stayed even though I went down. And then after a little bit, she was like, all right, I'm done. And she came down too, and we sat together. Lou took a picture of us. I'm going to include that in this clip here of us sitting at the bottom of the rock. And you see me sitting there, and I'm trying to put on a good face for Kylie, but in my head, I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And once everybody started coming down, and it was like, okay, like we are all leaving, like we have to get down the rock, I started crying because I'm like, I'm so terrified of getting off this part of the rock. And it was just literally that part of the rock. Once we did that, like going back down the rope thing, I was fine. Getting back to the car, I was fine. The rest of the trip, I was fine. It was just that part. I don't know what, but it scared the hell out of me. But I wasn't like crying and like screaming, crying, or anything like that. I was just like, you see the tears coming down my face as I'm like, Lou was helping me down the rock. And everybody was really supportive. They was like, it's okay, take your time. Like, I didn't feel judged or anything like that. And yeah, that was my experience with Baba Rock. If you're somebody who does not like heights, don't do it to yourself. But unless you're willing to like work your way up to it, like that's what I'm gonna plan to do. I do want to climb Mount Fuji. I want to climb all the other mountains out here. So I want to work my way up to that. I was also extremely out of breath, like huffing and puffing, feeling like I'm gonna die, feeling like I have asthma, something like that. So I want to start working myself up to that, and build on that, and and just become better at hiking and at being in like on higher elevations and not being scared or feeling like, you know, I'm about to become an angel. So yeah, that was that. The rest of the trip went hella smooth. Did not have any problems. I did not cry, I promise, the rest of the trip. Had a good attitude. I don't think I ruined anybody's trip or anything like that. It was a really, really good time. Rokapoka, if you've never been there, is about 45 minutes, maybe 30 to 45 minutes away from Misawa. I would highly suggest you go. We do actually plan on going back. It is like you can rent a private room with your own private onsen. They have restaurants, they have things for kids to do, and I think it will be like a really cool thing to do. You can even like make it a girls trip or a family trip where like your family and another family or 2 other families go and you guys, you know, have a good time doing that and having the kids play and having a good time. I would suggest that. I believe that they have a special going on until June. Today is May 1st. So go ahead and check that out. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's all my thoughts about the trip. Like I said, overall, it was a really, really good trip. And I made that situation at Baba Park a lesson. I know that I have to work on my momentum when it comes to hiking and doing certain things like that. And hopefully, you know, by the end of my time here, I would be better than what I am now. You know, I want to see progression. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys really, really enjoyed the video because I almost died making it. Yes, I will make you feel guilty and I have no problem doing that. Please, please subscribe, okay? Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.